Welcome to the Awesome Living Show with Cheryl Pullins. Do you want to learn how to create a vibrant, exciting, and amazing life by taking action on your dreams? Is there a dream you have been wanting to live but just don't know how to get started? Cheryl Pullins of iCoachWomen.com can help teach you some of the most effective strategies available to move you from thinking about an awesome life to living an awesome life. And now here is your host, Cheryl Pullins.
Hello, lovelies, and welcome to another amazing day for you and I to connect and do awesome together. During today's show, we are going to tap into a huge iceberg that deals with the bitterness, anger, and rage, which could be controlling every aspect of your life, and you don't even recognize it. We're going to talk about the one thing that could truly change everything in your life. You will learn 4 powerful principles that will transform your life forever. Before we begin with today's show, I want to personally invite you to come play and do awesome with me. Visit iCoachWomen.com to learn more about how you can work with me. Why? Because I use some of the most effective strategies to help women around the world elevate their thinking, create strong visions for their future, and live vibrant, exciting, and amazing lives. So let's get started. Every now and then, I go through a season of addressing the iceberg in the ocean, which prevents so many of us from experiencing a real and true life of freedom. There comes a time in your life where you can no longer live in the shadows of your hurts and pains. But you must take a stand and remove your blood-soaked bandages of bitterness, anger, and wrath. You hold the keys to the locks on the chains, which are keeping you from living a life of true freedom. And today, in this space, it's time for you to use your key to unlock your chains, reveal your truth, and live a life of joy, freedom, and love. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that sounds good, but how can I do that? How can I free myself from the bitterness, anger, and rage that is deep within me? And I haven't even recognized that it's been dictating my life for so long. I don't even know where to begin because there is so much hurt and pain. And if I start to confront it, it will cause me even more pain. Well, what I know, you can't heal what you don't reveal. You can't walk in freedom if you're living in bondage and being a slave to the negative and toxic emotions which are killing you and your dreams. But there is one powerful thing you can do to catapult your life like never before. Continue to listen, and I will share with you this life-changing action you can do to transform your life forever. When I was 12 years old, I found out that I was adopted, and on the same day, I found out that my neighbor's children were actually my sister and my brother. In that moment, I felt lost and disconnected, and it sent me into an emotional spiral. I had questions which at the time no one could answer. The people in my life were no longer who I had believed and known them to be. It was an isolating place, and emotionally, I lived in that place of isolation for another 18 years until then there was the young man who I met and eventually married. We brought 2 amazing daughters into the world. We were married for 14 years, but our marriage ended in a very ugly and public way, which culminated with me being bitter, angry, and full of rage. I chose to take a path of self-destruction. I believed the story that I was unworthy and became promiscuous. I lacked compassion and was unforgiving. For 24 months, my life was a deep, dark, musty, slimy, black hole. And I felt like I couldn't get out. I felt like I couldn't even see my hand in front of me. The mental minions frolicked about, torturing me with my emotional scars, which I was nursing over and over and over. I had become a walking, talking, and living time bomb, primed to explode at any given moment, with me being the first casualty. Until both of the individuals of these two stories converged on the same road, the road which I chose. And it became a dark, stony, and unforgiving place. For more than 18 years, I had nursed the wounds of believing that the woman who had given birth to me didn't want me. And I layered that with years of deeply rooted bitterness from an unsuccessful marriage and a hatred towards the man who had become my husband, the father of my children, the man I had once loved. But after wandering in the wilderness for 2 years, one day I was sitting at the foot of my bed, and I had turned to watch a well-known TV pastor. And this day, he was talking about love. I stopped what I was doing and listened quietly as the tears began to roll down my face. Somehow, some way, the words he was speaking found their way through the television into the atmosphere and into my dark, stony, and unforgiving heart. In that moment, what I knew was that if I didn't deal with the pain, the bitterness, the anger, and the internal rage that consumed me, it was sure to kill me. In order to live your life abundantly, it is imperative that you deal with the real in order to heal. I want to say that again. You have to deal with the real in order to heal. You are going to have to come out of emotional hiding and reveal some things, because you will never heal what you don't reveal. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about revealing it to people as much as I am talking about revealing it first and foremost to yourself. Oftentimes, we hide our truth, our pain, and our wounds from ourselves, and we live our lives based on lies because we haven't confronted our own truths. So there are 4 things you need to do if you truly want to live a life that is vibrant, joyful, and free. And the first thing you have to do is reveal it. This is about acknowledging and recognizing that you hurt. That something on the inside of you just isn't right. That you have been emotionally hiding, because the truth is you can't fix what you don't face, you can't correct what you don't confront, and you can't improve what you don't inspect. Reveal it. Expose the wounds in the light of day instead of nursing them in the isolation of night. The next important piece is to own it. Own your part. Oh, I know what you're thinking right now, but Cheryl, you don't know what they did to me. Well, I'm not talking about what they did to you as much as I am talking about how you responded to what they did to you. You have to own your part of the pain. This is not where you get to blame or play the blame game. This is the space where you take responsibility for allowing yourself to write that negative script, to believe the negative story, and wallow in self-pity because someone has done you wrong. It's time for you to get up and love yourself better than that. Own it. Own your part of the pain. because this is your life. It's not their life. So own it. Own your contribution to the pain associated with the experience. The next phase is to heal it. Heal the wounds which have plagued you for so long. Heal the root of the bitterness which has controlled your life. Get in there and dig. Stand in your power and recognize your truth. Then heal it. Stop speaking to the pain and put your lips on the healing. Because where your focus goes, your power flows. Tell yourself that your heart is free. Your heart is healed. Your heart is one that forgives. Speak your truth, your true truth, that you are no longer a depository for emotional garbage, but you are a vessel of honor, strength, dignity, and compassion. Then the last thing is to let it go and set it free. Release the pain, the people, and the emotions. Lighten the load. Leave the baggage. Drop the weight so that you can catapult and live your life. You can't release your awesome into the world by carrying dead weight. Let it go. Set it free. Because what I know is that forgiveness is the one thing that can change everything. And forgiveness is never about the person, but it's all about you. It's always about you. And forgiveness may not be easy, but it certainly is necessary. Recognize that healing requires you to start where you are. Don't wait for perfect. And don't wait until someone else tells you it's time. Forgiveness is a pathway to unconditional love. And you can't get to unconditional love without first denouncing the anger, the bitterness, and the rage that is storming on the inside of you and replacing it with compassion, kindness, and a tender heart. No one will ever experience the full beauty of who you are and who you are destined to become until you deal with the real so that you can heal. And dealing with the real requires forgiveness. And that process is that you have to reveal it, own it, heal it, and let it go. I appreciate you for listening to this episode of Awesome Living with Cheryl Pullins. I invite you to come play and do awesome with me at icoachwomen.com, where you will learn more about how you can work with me. As a speaker and mastery coach to women, I use some of the most effective strategies to help women around the world elevate their thinking, create strong visions for their future, and live vibrant, exciting, and amazing lives. Until next time, stay fabulous, live empowered, and keep rocking your awesome.
You have been listening to the Awesome Living with Cheryl Pullins show. You're invited to come play and discover your awesome with Cheryl at icoachwomen.com, where you will explore how to use your passions, create a crystal clear roadmap for your future, and receive proven strategies to create an amazing life while releasing your brand of awesome to the world.